I feel like I'm ashy. All right. Shalom, shalom. So today's video is going to be about the end game. This is going to be part 1 of 3. This is going to clear up the confusion about what happens after Babylon is destroyed. But before we begin, I want to give all praises, power, glory, and thanks to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders, the prophets, the apostles, the wise men, our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are out here pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth. To them we say shalom. All right, so like I mentioned before, we're going to be talking about the end game, after Babylon is destroyed. Like I've reiterated many times, Brethren Austin has a video breakdown of Isaiah 13, for the fleeing of Babylon, for people that don't understand. I'm sure Brethren Paris added a link to the other past videos. If not,
I'm
you can always
this one again.
Yeah, we'll add it again. So, without further ado, I'm gonna let Brethren Paris start it off, and we're gonna go from there.
All right, now I'm gonna start off in the book of Joel, starting in chapter 2. But I will remove far off from you the northern army. I will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part towards the uttermost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. Fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for the Lord will do great things. So basically, right here he's saying he will remove you from the northern army. Basically saying he will remove us. He will remove. You gotta understand, after Babylon is destroyed and we're fleeing from the land and we're getting back to our homeland, you gotta understand that people are still going to be hunting for us and looking for us. So you gotta understand that the Most High is going to be looking out for his people at this time while he's laying wrath. That's what he's talking about. Now I'm gonna jump to Joel 3 and just give you a little preview of this. This is when he will gather up all the nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat. And I will also gather up all the nations. I will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them for my people and for my heritage, Yasharallah, whom they have scattered among the nations, have parted my land. So basically, he's going to bring all the nations for that great and final war, which is World War III, which they're gearing up right now as we speak for. And basically, as all the nations gear up in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the so-called Middle East, the Most High is going to reveal himself and show himself, and he's going to plead for his people and his heritage, just like a lot of people have been ignoring us and been ignoring the signs of the times. Well, there's not going to be any more time for ignoring it, because he's going to have the center stage, and everybody's going to be able to listen. Verse 3, and they will cast lots for my people, and have given them a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, and they might drink. 4, ye and what ye have done with me, O Tyre, Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine, and ye render my recompense. If you recompense me swiftly, speedily, I will return your recompense upon your own head. So basically what he's saying, they have sold our people into slavery, and they have sold them for basically nothing. And he's talking to all the nations, and he's saying, wouldn't I render recompense swiftly and speedily if it was upon your head? And he's basically asked, it's a rhetorical question, because he's saying if something was wrong, something was done wrong to you, you would want recompense swiftly and quickly. So he's saying, thus is the same for my people. Verse 5, because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have sold into the Grecians, which are so-called today your so-called Edomites, your so-called white man, that you may be removed far from their border, which you have. We have been removed far from our border. We have been removed far from our homeland. And behold, I will raise them out of the place whither you have sold them, which is a.k.a. Babylon, a.k.a. America, a.k.a. Egypt, and will return your recompense upon your own head. So he will gather us among all the four corners of the nations and out of Babylon, and he's going to have recompense on your head for everything that you have done. Verse 8, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of Judah, and they shall sell them unto the Sabaeans, to the people far off, for the Lord has spoken it. So again, just like we harp on a lot from Revelations 13, we harp on a lot the patience of the saints, which is you lead in captivity, you should go into captivity. You kill with the sword, you shall kill with the sword. Here lies the patience of the saints. And we reiterate this so much because that's how the Most High deals with things. That's how Yahweh deals with things. What you do unto a people shall be done unto you. So just like all the other nations had a hand in selling and profiting off the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, this is going to be the same. They're going to be sold into our hands, and we're going to profit off of them like they profit off of us, and we're going to have a head start. And I'm going to turn it over to Brother Darian.
All right. So I'm going to start off Joel 3. I'm going to be reading 12 through 21. And if you're just not joining us, we're talking about the end game, what happens after Babylon falls. So we're dwelling in Joel chapter 3 right now. So this verse 12, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. So 12 and 13, he's saying, let the heathen wake up and dwell into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is like coming towards the Middle East to start World War III. But there's not really going to be a war. He's just going to be there, and he's going to judge them, and he's going to, start slashing them and killing them because their wickedness has reached unto, the heavens. 14, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. So it's more iteration about the day of the Lord. 16, Yahweh also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth shall shake. But Yahweh will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. So shall you know that I am Yahweh, your power, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. There shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. So he's letting you know that, he's coming to plead for his people, just like Brother Paris was saying before. And he's going to roar out of Zion, and he's basically going to reclaim his heritage for his people and plead for his people. 18, it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters, and a fountain shall come forth of the house of Yahweh, and shall water the valley of Shittim. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for Yahweh dwelleth in Zion. So 17 and 18, he's giving you a preview of New Jerusalem and how the landscape is going to be. 18, he's letting you know that Egypt is going to be a desolation, just like Edom, because they played a huge part in dwelling with the children of Israel. And he's going to let them know, they're going to be wiped out and like desolate. It's not going to inhabit anymore, Egypt or Edom. But Judah is going to dwell forever and never. And he's going to cleanse them, and they're going to be holy just like the Most High.
No such thing as mixed race, man. We got a lesson for that coming up later, but no such thing as mixed race, man. You are what your father is. Stay tuned. We got a lesson on that too. Confusion to face. You continue. You done, Darren? You continue.
Yeah, I'm on 21. You reading out of Ezekiel now.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with Ezekiel 38, and just like Brother Darren was talking about, this is all this is pertaining to what's happening after the fall of Babylon. We want to get people to understand that that's a very key thing in this. Babylon is finished. Babylon destroyed after this. The Medes have swept and raided Babylon, so there's no more Babylon. You have to get the understanding that the Most High is dealing with all these other nations after he has dealt with Babylon. First, so I'm in Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and the prophecy against him. And basically, Gog and Magog, if you want to get a better understanding, they're different parts of Syria and Russia, those different areas in Turkey. And they're just divided up. They were divided up in different land markings at the time that that the prophecy was said pertaining to now, but they're still the same regions. You can look that up. Gog and Magog, they'll pop up in Syria and Russia and Turkey, those areas. Verse 3. And thus says Yahweh power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, and the chief prince of Meshech and Tabal, the same thing as Gog and Magog, which is Russia, Syria, all these these Russian and UN powers that are going to be going against each other in the final woe. That's who he's talking about, who he's coming against. Just like Brother Darian talks about in Joel. So verse 4, I will turn back and put hooks in thy jaws, and bring thee forth all thine army and horses and horsemen and all them clothes and all sorts of armor, even the great company of the bucklers and the shields and all them handling swords. The Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them all of them shielded and helmet. Gomer, which is Turkey today, and all his bands in the house of to Gomorrah in the northern quarter, and all his bands, and many people with thee. So basically, what he's saying is he's just like he was talking about earlier in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. He's going to basically he's basically cleansing the land. He's preparing the land for his people to make passage through. And verse 7, just like I said, be prepared for thyself, all thy company that are assembled unto thee, be thy guard unto them. After many days thou shalt be visited in latter years, it shall come into this land and is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, and against thy mountains of Gasharala, which have been always a waste, but brought forth out of many nations, it shall dwell the safety of all of them. So again, like in the later days, in the days of the Messiah's kingdom and among men, just like we said in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, when the Messiah will show his face and will plead for his people, you gotta understand that in the land while we have recovered from captivity, and that there are gonna be times that people are gonna try to come against us and come towards us. So that's why the Most High early in 4 and 5 was talking about cleansing the land, and he's going to prepare a place for us. In verse 9, and thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, there shall be a cloud and cover the land, and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Thus saying Lord power, it shall come and pass that y'all shall come say shall things and come into my mind, that shall think an evil thought. Thou shalt say, I will go into the land of unwalled villages, and I will go with them in our rest, and dwell safely, and all them dwelling with the walls, without walls, having neither bars nor gates. Well, if you understand, you saying somebody has an evil thought, and they're going upon the unwalled villages, meaning they're going against all the weak villages. All the villages don't have any defenses. So verse 12, to take spoil and to take prey, and to turn thy hand upon thee the desolate places that now are inhabited upon the people that have gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods and dwell in the midst of the land. So basically just saying, like, after we have reclaimed our land, we'll go around to the unwalled and defensive places and basically reclaim the resources and everything from there. And I'll let Brother Darian wrap it up from there.
To touch on what you're saying, you also got to remember when he's talking about the merchants of Tarshish. Is it in 38 or is it in 39? All right, so when he's talking about the merchants of Tarshish, you got to understand when he's telling you to
39. That's 39. Oh no, that's 13.
Yeah. So
that's
when you
about to start.
Yeah. So when he's talking about like he was saying, the unwalled villages. Well, when we flee, you have to flee from Babylon, and you have to make your way down. Don't go north, because he told you the Iranians are coming in from the north. So you have to go south. Your main destination really is the ships of Tarshish, because they have to carry you over to the Mediterranean. Now, getting to that point, it's just faith at that point. Nobody knows where exactly and things like that. But what they're going to do, they're going to basically take you over to a land in the Mediterranean, and they're going to, use you as like an offering to the Most High. They're gonna be like, I brought your people back safe and sound. I gave them gold and stuff like that, and I made sure that they're taken care of and things like that. So Tarshish, they dwell from like the children of Japheth. That's where the side they are. They're from Japheth.
Mm-hmm.
But 13, Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish with all the young lions thereof shall say unto thee, Art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil? So he's talking about what Paris was reading 1 through 12. While they're in the middle of the battle, he comes like, wait, why are we fighting against each other if we all want the same thing? You know, we're trying to go after the children of Israel and to enslave them. So let's go find them because they're in the unwalled villages and such, and they're just dwelling there. But you gotta understand the Most High, just like in the beginning, He brought us through the wilderness. Well, this is basically the wilderness part 2. So you gotta understand we're gonna be just dwelling over there in that land, just relaxing, and we're not gonna need walled villages because the Most High is gonna protect us. So they're gonna try to come after us. That's why He says He's gonna put an evil thought in their head to come and attack them. And then this is where I continue with 14. It says, Therefore, Son of Man, prophesy and say unto God, Thus saith Yahweh power, in that day when my people Israel dwell of safety, shalt thou not know it? And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many riders with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and a mighty army. And thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as a cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days. And I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O God, before their eyes. Thus saith Yahweh power, Art thou he of whom I have spoken in old time by my servants, the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years that I would bring thee against them? And it shall come to pass at that same time when God shall come against the land of Israel, saith Yahweh power, and my fury shall come up in my face. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel. So what you got to understand, He's going to take all the heathen from out of, even the bastard children that are in the land of Israel. And He's going to get them out of there. He's going to kill them and He's going to destroy them. You got to understand, then that's when He's going to bring His people in to just relax and chill, because Israel is already desolate at this time of what's going on now. So He's going to get them and just going to be chilling and relaxing in Jerusalem. Then that's when Russia and the rest of the militaries, like in Africa and such, are going to try to go up against them. And that's when He's saying He's going to protect us. That's when they're going to really see the fury of the Most High. But they're attacking them because He put that spirit on them to attack him. 20. So that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake in my presence, and the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. And I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, saith Yahweh power. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. And I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, and overflowing rain and great hailstone, fire and brimstone. Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations, and they shall know that I am Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So what He's talking about is He's gonna make them fight against each other. So basically, it's gonna be like another gathering, but they're gonna be fighting against each other, and they're gonna destroy themselves. And He's gonna also, at the same time, He's gonna also be raining hail, fire, and brimstone upon them. So it's going to be like destruction on top of destruction. And that's what people have to understand. So that was part 1. We still got part 2 and part 3 to go. But for people that was just joining us late, you have to understand, when He tells you to flee out of Babylon, He's not saying that, He's saying it on a spiritual level, and He's saying it on like a physical level. Like, you have to flee. Because it's going to come to a time where you're not going to have any time to flee. You're going to be stuck there. So He's telling you to flee because there's, like a lot of people don't understand, there's actually a plan in the Bible. If you read it correctly, you will read it throughout the prophets. They get the same message, but it's in different ways, just like Luke, John, and Matthew. It's the same thing, but they have different point of views, and that's what He's telling you. So in order for you to understand it, that's just the Spirit working with you for you to understand it. Everybody's not going to understand that point, because a lot of people still think that, the UFOs are just going to come and pick us up and we're going to be out of there. No. When the fall of Babylon is just the beginning. That's just going to be the beginning. And when we're talking about Satan is going to round them up and stuff like that, it's just basically saying, like, when Babylon is destroyed, they're going to be trying to look for other services to regroup. that's when he's going to bring the rest of the nations that's in Europe in other ways, because you understand Europe and them was still going to be booming at that time. They're not going to be booming, but compared to Babylon, they're going to be, booming. And then
Business
that's when he's
usual.
going to, right. So that's when he's going to bring his children back over, with the ships of with the people to, the ships of Tarshish, the children of Japheth are going to bring them back over into the Holy Land, and that's when he's going to gather them. After he gathered them out of Jehoshaphat, he's going to destroy Gog and Magog, which is like Russia, basically the Middle Easterns, and he's going to destroy them. He's going to cause them to destroy each other, and then that's when we get in part 2, because I don't want to give up part 2. And then that's when part 2, which if you want to read it on your own, that's through Ezekiel 39 and part 2 really is really
Isaiah 66.
Yeah, and then part 3 is like Ezekiel 39 if you want to read ahead. But of course, we're going to go over it. Right, Mystery Babylon is the USA, correct?
Yes.
Babylon just means the land of confusion. USA is spiritually Egypt, Babylon, all of those wicked places, because Esau, Edom dwelled in all those places, like the Romans, like the Greeks, and so on and so forth. So they brought the same ideologies to USA. So basically, that's what that is. But before we leave, you got anything else to say, Paris?
No, sir. Just be looking out. Oh, I got another video that's not on IG. Brother Darren did that video. It's gonna be dropping tonight, so y'all be looking out for it.
Oh yeah, it's about natural versus spiritual. I did a breakdown on that one. I seen a brother talk about it. He did like the part of Esau Edom. He broke it down. He put it on one of the elder videos. So I guess the spirit was upon me, and I was just like, all right, well, I need to put this together. But before we leave, we want to give all praises, power, glory, and thanks to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders, the prophets, the apostles, the wise men, our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are out here pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth, risking our lives and freedom to do so, more so than ever. Where can I find it? Please find. What are you trying to find?
Yeah, what you DM us?
Yeah, DM either me or Brother Paris, and we'll see. I think he's talking about the link to the YouTube, or he talking about, I don't know, but just DM us.
Yeah, the video I haven't put up yet, but it's gonna be on YouTube tonight. I haven't put it up yet.
Yeah. But yeah, Yahweh Ratazah. Hopefully this lesson was very edifying. If for people to understand Yahweh Ratazah, just Lord willing. Till next time, Shalom.
Shalom.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into the house, and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? The great day of the Lord is near, it is near, and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. For behold, cometh, that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts. And they heard a great voice from heaven, saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. At the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai.